Hi, I'm Avishag, and today I am going to talk about operation, specifically about CI/CD, what we love about it, how it helps us, what it covers and what it's not yet covering, and focus mostly about the developers and how CI/CD helped us and what more issues it can solve. So as I mentioned, I'm Avishag. All my friends call me Vishy because it's just shorter. I started my tech career in the military like a typical Israeli developer. I worked for in the industry for a few corporates, and about 1 year, 2 years, I joined LinearB. We are a startup. We are solving issues in the delivery. In the delivery domain, we help engineering organization to deliver faster, and we solving it with a few solutions. I work there as a software engineer as well as team leader. I have a lot of fun there. I live in Tel Aviv, and this is basically a little bit about me. And this session, I'm going to start by telling you a little story from the past. So long time ago, there were a lot of developers in this world. And these developers were, hi everyone, welcome. And a long time ago, there were a lot of developers in this world. These developers were very, very, very sad. And they couldn't understand why they are being that sad. So the thing that they do, which is a really strong skill that they have, they started, just to do the research. They started to research their delivery process. Now, I'm going to introduce, just to simplify the concept, I'm going to introduce the common delivery process. Not everyone shares the same process when they are delivering, but I'm going to introduce the most common one. And it goes like this. So each delivery that we want to do, each thing or feature or bug or something that we want to deliver starts with coding, right? No. So actually, it's a tricky one. We are not always starting with coding. Most of the time, we are not starting with the coding. There is a lot of work that needs to be done before coding, right? We have to do the tech design. We have to get prepared. We sometimes need to do tasks breakdown. We need to get really ready for the coding part. But again, to simplify and to make it just more related to the topic, I start with the coding, okay? So we have the coding. The code part is the fun part. This is the good stuff, the things that we are good at as developers, the really things that we enjoy in this process, the things that we are good at. We are being recruited in order to code, right? This is the fun. This is the fun area that makes our developers really happy. And then we start with the sad part of the process. We have PR. So PR refers to pull request, right? We need to somehow really deliver our coding, the things that we worked on for maybe a few days, few hours, whatever. We want to wrap it somehow and deliver it. The way we do it is PR, which refers to pull request. We know it sometimes as merge request, as a code request, diff request. Many companies uses different tools for that part, but the concept here is me as a developer, I want to deliver, and this is the way that I deliver. So I send my pull request to a review, but not all of the time I remember how to do it. So not all of the developers, sometimes junior or new employees in the company, they don't know really the conventions of how we deliver things. So this part can get a little bit more slow. And first of all, we're talking about communication, how we do, how we deliver, how we rep, what we need to do in order to deliver the code. The second thing is the context switch. The context switch is cost you as the developer, as the main developer, as the main issue or contributor. And also the context switch it takes from my team, right? So we know this part can get a little bit long. We have this ping pong. This is not fun. This makes our developers really sad. But then comes the merge. The merge, if everything goes right and you have your PR approved, even after a few cycles of review and the comments that you need to address, if you go with an approved PR, and you merge it, this is a really easy part because it's basically either a command or a click or something like that. So this part is really short, but we want to encourage and to get to this merge part as soon as possible when we are coding and handling PR. So you don't want your approved PR to be hanged out a lot of time. Otherwise, you might get code conflicts or things like that you don't want to handle. So just make sure you get your merges to the merge part as fast as you can, and just do this because this is a really easy part in the process. Okay. So as I mentioned, developers, they are still sad because they have to do things that are not coding. One of them is integration. So a lot of companies have this integration part after they are merging their code to the main branch. A lot of companies also have the integration part before that. But this is basically refers to the point when we are trying to integrate our changes with the whole system, right? We have many ways to do it, and we have really many companies that involve integration in many ways, but basically this is also a part that not all developers really care about or want to do or even have the knowledge how to do. So this is a really tricky one that also consumes a lot of time. And obviously we have the deployment. So I'm not sure if anyone familiar, but CI/CD was not always here to help us deliver and to deploy a lot of our changes. There were dark times, when we had to copy DLL files and Excel files from our machine to the servers. And sometimes it's even happening now in many organizations. But this part can get really annoying because you just have to take care of the ops. You get to the production, and all of a sudden you have a missing environment variable. Like, what is the environment variable? I don't know. I'm focused about the coding. Let me code and let other people to take care of these annoying parts. So we agree that what makes our developers really sad is the ops, right? So we don't like, as developers, to take care a lot about the ops. But the interesting thing about this concept in general, that we shifted a little bit, right? Now when we are coding in the cloud, ops is pretty much a part of our day-to-day job. So we have organizations solved it in many ways. We recruited DevOps. Woohoo, DevOps, yeah. We recruited DevOps to help the developers and just solve all their issues. So a lot of organizations have dedicated big DevOps teams that do this kind of job. A lot of teams really have one single or two DevOps in their team, so they are working together. But we cannot agree more that DevOps rescued our life by just handling all the ops for us. So this is a good thing, and just keep that in mind that we are the best. Not only we solved their problems that related to ops in general, we are that good that we also provided them a good dev experience with CI/CD, right? So we have this CI/CD approach that really gives us really cool tools in the market, like GitHub Actions. We have Circle CI, we have Drone, we have Jenkins, we have many, many cool tools that not only help the developers to deliver fast, it's also helping us because it's now automating all of the process, all of the second part of the process, right? So CI/CD was not always here. A lot of experience and senior developers can tell us it's really changed our life, and we can all agree that this automation and this thing really boosted our process all at once. So, yay. Good we did it. This is really, really good one. I'm going to drink. I'm very excited, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. Yes, thank you. So, as I mentioned, this CI/CD really helped us with boosting up our process, our speed in general, and with us providing a really happy development pipeline, we are now able to have a more happier developer because they are just don't need to take care of this ops thing. And this is in the past. So good for us. Now let's get to the present. In the present, we still have sad developers and we still have happy developers. Now, what really differentiates between both of them? So the happy developer is not happy because of the great benefits at the office. He's not happy because their office is just dog-friendly and he has all the fun ice cream in the fridge. No. He's happy because he gets a lot of impact in on his day-to-day task. He gets his feature delivered properly to production. He doesn't need to take take care a lot of about bugs, because in his happy world he doesn't have any bugs. It doesn't really happen, but yes, you get the concept. While the sad developer is still sad. Again, not because of the lack of benefits in the office, but because of processes that he still needs to take care of. So we see that the CI/CD really covers a lot of the process when it comes to the delivery, right? But there is still a major gap in the beginning of the process. What about the code? And what about the PR? What about these things that CI and CD are not solving yet? What can we do in order to make this process just a lot faster and a lot easier for our developers? So this is the gap that I'm going to talk with you about. Now, I'm going to shift to a research that we did in LinearB. We have a lot of data about our customers that we did a research on. And we really wanted to figure out what affects your PR and really slow your process when it comes to your pull request that you want to deliver. So first of all, we have the mainstream reasons. We need to take care of the tech design. When you have a proper tech design and you know what to do and you get all your requirements, figure it out, even in a level of files and things that you need to change right away, it automatically will affect your PR. The task scope, also something that affects your PR. Sometimes you start your coding and then you get to understand that the scope of this change is not as you thought before. Another thing that affects your PR is your factor mix. We're all aware of it. We want to just change one thing there, and all of a sudden your PR is huge because you just wanted to fix this, and you want to optimize this, and you wanted to remove a duplicated code from that part, and all of a sudden you have this mixed refactor in your pull request that you want to deliver. So all of these affects your PR. You're probably aware of it, but there are many more reasons. So we wanted to investigate our data to understand how PR size, the size of the PR, affects your delivery. And this is what we realized. So our research is based on 1 million pull requests, 3.9 reviews, and about 25K developers. And this is interesting things that we discovered. So we realized that pull requests that under 200 change talks about the lines, the number of the lines. So pull requests with under 200 changes will get merged a lot faster, even twice as fast as other pull requests. And why is that? Well, because it's, first of all, more attractive. It will just take it will take less time to just pick it up because it's small, right? So me as a reviewer, I will be more likely to pick up a pull request that is smaller. And this is the first thing. Second thing is the review. The whole review is immediately just shorter because it's less code, and basically it's less code. So the review will take easy. Another thing is the ping pong, right? If I have comments, me as the developer, I can address more faster to this pull request, right? So this whole process will just get the merge step a lot faster. I will get to this merge part a lot quicker than PRs that have a bigger size. Another thing that we realized, and this is related to DORA metrics if you are familiar with it, we understood and realized that pull request with smaller size really affects your frequency, your deployment frequency. So if you will engage a small PR to your process, you're more likely to deliver just more versions in general. We saw the teams that are working with big PRs have a bigger cycle time, a longer cycle time. And on the other hand, teams that are working with small PRs have shorter cycle time. And this is a really interesting one because we can see it just based on our data. This is really huge. But what big PRs and small PRs have in common. So for both kind of PRs, we can say for sure that 60% of the lifetime of the pull request that we want to deliver is being wasted on pickup time and review. So this whole common process, 60% of its time, we are wasting on pickup and review. And this is crazy, right? 60% of the time, it's a lot of time. When we're talking about scale, when we're talking about a lot of developers, we're talking about a lot of time, hence a lot of money. So this is really something huge. But where this gets stuck? In the PR. Your code, your delivery gets stuck in that step that consumes most of the time. And why is that? As I mentioned, a lot of communication, a lot of lack in communication resulting context switch from your developers. And this is really what we call the huge idle time in the middle that we want to figure out how to solve it. So if we'll be able somehow to reduce this ping pong, this annoying part, maybe we'll be able to boost up our process. And now, us as the DevOps community, as the DevOps people, we really can help and contribute to this process like we did before with CI/CD. So how can we speed up the process? We'll come to the rescue again. And today I'm going to present an idea, a new concept of continuous merge. Continuous merge is the final part that, the last piece in the puzzle that will cover all your process at once. And it basically talks about an automated way to make this part just more faster. So we need to somehow cover this for the developer. And with that, we'll be able to cover the whole process. So how can we speed up the code? So we have Copilot, right? GitHub provided Copilot. Now we can code a lot faster. We also have ChatGPT, right? The new stuff. You are familiar with it? So basically I can just, hey, give me a code that does this and this and this, and I will get it right away. So this part is being covered. Thank you, technology. But still the PR is not yet covered. So what we can do? The first thing we need to realize that not all pull requests are the same. Each pull request has its own personality, and each change related to new kind of things sometimes, maybe some old code that we need to take care of, and all of these just make our pull requests just not similar one to another. Another thing is that there are pull requests that has a low risk when we are delivering them, and pull requests that are more likely to be in high risk, right? I'll give you examples for these right away. So if I'm only changing an MD file, a Markdown file, README file, this is easy. If I'm only changing a logo, this is easy. But if I'm touching something that already been touched before a lot of times, maybe it's risky. If I'm changing a file that's being refactored a lot of time, this is risky. If I'm changing a file that is related to the security of the project or the security of the code, this is risky. Maybe I need to do something automatically to help my developer to get this done much faster, right? So I can give you an example for that. After I'll just explain a bit about this approach. So continuous merge refers to a pull request and how we boost up the merges in automated way. And we, in LinearB, in our R&D group, we decided to attack it in two ways. One way is to basically get your PR more attractive. I'll tell you how we did it in the next slide. The other way is to automate your merge in a smart and dynamic way, but not really automate the merge itself, the action itself, but automate how we are treating the pull request based on the changes there in a dynamic and in a smart way. So how we made our PR more attractive? We created this awesome bot called WorkerB. We are doing dogfooding, so we are using it, but there are many, many ways and many free tools in the market that you can use. But what we did, we are listening to our WebEx event, and with that, we are adding more context to our pull request. So for example, once my team member requests my review, I get the estimated review time. So I know right away how much time I'm going to invest in my PR, and I can choose whether I'm going to release this bottleneck for this guy or not. Another thing with that case is that if I have an estimated review time, which is a lot higher, which will take me longer, I can even just close a slot right away in my calendar, and I'll have all my mind invested into this pull request for the next, 15 minutes. And this is a smart model. So it learns your reviews, and it learns the teams, and it learns the PR, which is really awesome. So this is the way we added context to my request. Also, this is a real time. So because we're listening to the webhooks, we get this push to my assistant, to my bot immediately. A way to do it is using, for example, I can give you GitHub Actions provides Slack Notify, so you can just plug it right away to your repos, and here you go. You have your Slack notifications right away for free. Another way we did is we recognize these small PRs, these things that you only need to bump a version, you only need to change one line, sometimes typo, and you want to finish and clean your table right away. We are recognizing it, we are taking a snippet, and we are giving our customers an option to approve it right away from the bot, from Slack or MS Teams, which is awesome. Also, you can do it by yourself. And this is a really, really cool thing that made just our PRs more attractive and helped us to release these bottlenecks in general. Another way, as I mentioned, is the way that we are attacking this continuous merge approach, is that we integrated our rules, our repository rules, to our CI and CD. We created this awesome YAML file with a lot of rules to this specific repository, a specific project, because we realized that each project can be treated differently, and each project owned by another team, and each team might has different rules about the reviewers subset, about what we are allowing to, what we are allowing to approve immediate and what's not. And we have like this flexible platform that we created that helped us to communicate what goes next to my pull request, and just make our process on the way to the merge a lot faster. This is something new, a new concept. We call this Git stream. If you are interested, you can come up to our booth and check us out. And with this kind of concept, with continuous merge as a new concept here, we achieved, and we are hopefully in the future will achieve a more, just a happier development pipeline and happier happy developers at once. So this was the session. Thank you very much.